throughout the years, I also tried the approach of uh, being vegetarian, being vegan, being not vegan. And veganism is something I embraced at the beginning
Mhm.
because of ethical reasons.
Mhm.
But I needed to kind of let it go for a bit because my recovery time, my maintenance wasn't the same. So slowly, I reintroduced a little meat, a little fish here and there. I'm talking about like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. That's all you need. You don't need much or every day.
When you were eating mostly vegan, this sounds like a funny question for people who are not in this community, but
Yeah.
were you openly vegan when you were vegan? Was that something? Because what happens a lot is an athlete of your caliber becomes vegan and it gets celebrated.
Oh
Um,
yeah, absolutely. It was. Yeah. I had a bunch of interviews of, different associations and groups that, pro veganism. And absolutely it was celebrated. It was like, Badwater winner, vegan, or this, doing this and this and that on vegan diet. But again, circling back to what I said earlier is, I embraced it mostly because of ethical reasons.
mhm.
And I knew that being plant-based was an advantage, but unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I hate that I brought back meat, because again, I'm breaking those ethical points. But if I look at it from a health standpoint and a performance standpoint, I for at least, this cannot apply to everybody. That's why, like I always say, nutrition is a very difficult topic because you can follow the guidelines, but then you need to be the one that does the work. You need to do the exploration work of finding out what works for you and what doesn't. And so, I've been a follower and I always found Scott Jurek to be the highest inspiration at the time that I started. And that's also why I kind of embraced it at the beginning. But then after 3 years, I started feeling that it wasn't working for me.
Mhm.
And so I needed to adjust a little bit. And unfortunately, unfortunately,
No, and
that's
I
where I'm at right now.
completely get what you're saying because,
Yeah.
like you said, you ideally that's the way you want. You don't want to see any animal suffering. This
Right.
idea that you're helping the environment
Yeah,
also. There's
exactly.
so many of these good things that that make people become vegan,
Yep.
and which makes it difficult to step out of it sometimes too because you feel like you're letting people down. Um,
That's absolutely right, man. Like you hit the target. That was like one of my hardest decisions to make, because I'm like, I've been promoting it, and I've been I don't want to say an ambassador for it because I never really, took major action. But you can only work on yourself and be an example, right?
mhm.
And so to me, kind of backtracking a little bit, it was it was a little bit of a letdown. It was a tough decision to make. But if I look back from a performance athletic point of view, this what's helping me to recover faster. This is what's helping me to maintain also my physical body in a better way, because unfortunately, we do use a lot of tendons and ligaments and cartilages when we do these extreme things. And so the maintenance of those is what allows you to keep going in the long run.
Mhm.
And I don't want to be critical about vegans or Scott Jurek in particular, but you see Scott has been breaking down,
Mhm.
and yeah, he have done amazing things, but unfortunately, as an endurance athlete at that level, I do think you need a little bit of extra, that it's not just fully plant-based.
Yeah, I definitely applaud you for because it's a complex issue. It's a
Yeah.
complex topic, and in
Yeah.
the diet wars, it these subtleties get lost a lot of times, and it's like
Yeah.
you're vegan or you're not, and it's well,
Right.
what if I do care about sustainability? What if I do care about
Yeah.
the life of an animal, but I
Yeah.
do see the need to have this as part
Yeah.
of my diet? So I applaud you
Well,
for
it's part of
walking
nature,
and
we are part of nature, and animals eat other animals. And I think that if we look at from that, yeah, of course, if you're just buying meats that come from farms, farming stuff, it's, it can be bad. But if you're aware of your sources and try to find, wild game or stuff like that, or cage-free chickens that lay their eggs in peace, and they can, you know what I mean? There's a little, I think
The
there are
happy
ways
cow.
to,
It's
yeah, it's hard to say, you're taking a life of an animal, but there are ways to make it feel more natural and
Mhm.
less, constructed, whatever it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or less
Definitely.
impactful on the planet. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a deep hole, man.
It's a
This is a
deep
deep,
hole, but that's
dark
where we
hole.
go in the outro lado. We go
Exactly.
all through the prism of running. There's plenty of places you can explore, man.